Okay, ready? 137, right?
Wait a minute. There we go. Why was that muted? That's weird.
Oh,
Okay.
it
Good
wasn't.
thing I was muted. You almost didn't get me.
Oh, really? That would
That's
have sucked.
that would have I'd probably be a better podcast.
Probably.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 137 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, I have exciting news for you. I am back playing my Nintendo Switch on the reg, as they say.
Wow.
It's happened.
What happened to you?
I'm taking transit again. I'm back to
Are you?
it's like it's 2017 all over again, man.
Why are you taking... So wait. What's that do to Xbox Drive?
So I park. I still have to drive away from my home. So I
Okay.
still have about a 15-minute, 20-minute drive to the train. But I take
Okay.
the train into where the university area is. So I work in a hospital, so I'm touching
Yeah.
all the germies, and the bathroom is disgusting.
Yeah.
But now, taking the train is a good 25 minutes, half an hour.
But here's the question. Why don't you just drive to work?
Because the campus, to be in and around a university, is a nightmare, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So if you catch the right lights and the train isn't in your way and all these other things line up, you might have a 50-minute door-to-door drive, which is actually pretty awful.
Yeah.
But most days, what I was finding is I couldn't even leave, even coming home. I couldn't leave. I was stuck in parkades. I'm waiting to turn left in all these different places. It was horrendous. So I'm like, forget it. I'm taking the train. I'm going to read a book every once in a while. I'm going to play the Switch. I've been grinding away at Octopath Traveler, man. It's been...
Oh, he's back.
It's
He's
good.
back.
It's good. It's good. And the best part is I love seeing other people. I saw this girl the other day. She was playing her Pokemon Let's Go. She got the special Joy-Cons on the side, and she's just she didn't even notice me playing my Switch. She's
You know
just
the best thing
she's
is-
lasered in, man, just racking on the buttons. I don't even know what she's playing because I don't understand the
I
beeps
was-
and the boops.
I was getting ready to kick you off the show, and
I
now
know.
I'm happy and I'm ready.
You son of a bitch.
Now I don't have to. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Everything is aligned. Everything's back to normal.
I know you don't have
love
to.
it.
You don't. You know what, man? I'm raising the world's #1 Nintendo fan, so don't even worry about it. He's
Dude,
going.
that kid.
He's gonna pull this whole bookshelf down behind me.
I love that kid.
Seriously,
I love
let's see,
that
man.
kid.
Yeah, he's good stuff.
He's the best, dude. He's the best. I was
named him
watching
after-
him swimming, and I was
Oh,
like,
I know.
Link, don't put the water in your mouth, Link.
Oh, he in the bathtub. I told you about the bath. I told you the story. He farted and then he drank the fart water. He's
You're
disgusting.
raising, I don't know about you're raising something over
He's
there. I don't know
raising an
exactly
animal, man.
exactly what it is.
How are you? That was a lot about me. How are you?
I am well, man.
Yeah, you sure that wasn't convincing?
No, I'm getting. I feel like I'm getting a cold.
Oh, there it
So I'm
is.
fighting it off, and I'm doing the best that I can. But I got
rough.
a lot of exciting things happening this weekend.
Ooh.
Starting a new podcast.
A new one?
N64 Josh, yes. It'll be on N64 Josh's channel.
That's good. I
It's only
think
gonna
your channel doesn't have any more room.
No, I don't have dude, I got too much stuff going on. But this, I figured, was nice because there was a lot of people that reached out to me after the episode of him coming on Breaking Bells.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like, oh my God, you guys got to do something together.
Yeah.
You guys are really good together. You got to do something together.
You are.
And him and I have always kind of he'll come to me, man, and he's like, hey, offer me advice on how to get just with social media. And we're doing a lot of advertising over on Instagram. And he's helping me with that and showing me the ropes with that. So he's been a really good friend. So for me, it's a no-brainer. But it's only a once-a-month thing.
Oh, there it
it's a
is.
special
Okay.
thing that we're doing. It's not going to be every single week. It's going to be once a month. Still kind of tinkering with the name, so we'll basically
Tinkering. Ting, ting,
yeah,
ting, ting, ting.
yeah. And then I got my people at Ojo. They hooked me up yesterday.
Oh,
man.
dude, I was watching your stream and you busted out this. Was it Ojo with the controller? You had this amazing. That was an Ojo controller.
Two controllers they sent me.
The one looked like a cross between a Pro controller and
Yeah,
I
right
guess
there.
a PS4. It looks, or I guess an Xbox a little bit too.
Yeah, man. It's the triggers, for those that can see, are just like a PS4.
Oh, it looks like they rip them right
Triggers.
off. Are you
Yeah,
sure it's not Soulja, not Ojo? Soulja Boy
That it's just
controller? That's
this
definitely
thing,
Ojo.
Sean, this thing, the rumble in this thing is unbelievably
Might be a
good.
sex toy.
It is it could be. It's pretty awesome. And then they sent me this NES Classic one.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it looks good,
And then,
man.
they sent me the Bluetooth speaker as well. I'm like, holy crap, guys. So I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to be working on this weekend with that as well, trying to do reviews and all that. And
Good
I got
for
two
you.
videos I'm trying to work on with one with Mr. Toby Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
One
doing
with
lists? Or do you want to
yes,
say?
that's going to be a list. That's going to be a list.
Yep.
And then I'm doing one with Very Carey as well.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah.
Like a
yeah.
video?
She's going to do some voiceover work for me. Yeah.
Oh, she's not going to be on video.
She won't be on camera.
Oh, you got to
but-
show yourself, Carrie. You got to show yourself. Come on. You can't have not everybody can be like Rybo. We got to see like Rybo is in the shadows. Mr. Ribble, he hides behind a cartoon facade. But come on, Carrie, let's go.
But I asked her to do some voiceover work for me.
I'm starting to think Carrie is Rybo. I think that might be the same person.
It's possible.
But
Very
might be
possible.
something else.
But I'm really excited about that one too. So
Have you ever seen him in the
I
same
have
room
to-
at the same time, Bobby? I don't think you
Yes.
have. You have not.
Yeah.
Rybo and Carrie?
Yeah.
Like physically in the same room. You seen them at the
No.
same time?
Yeah, they're in the chat room together.
Like Clark Kent and Spider-Man, you know?
Clark Kent and Spider-Man. Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
That's exciting, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah, but I'm really. I just asked her tonight if she would do it, and she was like, "Yeah."
Cool.
So
Cool. I'm glad you're doing all these
she
things
does
with all these other people. You got Kevin Austin on Nintendo Talk. You know, all these
So good.
people. Yeah.
Kevin
right?
Austin also.
told you.
Kevin Austin also came back and did Breaking Bells with me.
I told you, man. I told you.
Good. I love that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I love that kid. You know, and I'm just gonna throw it out. Okay, so listen, when you merged PSVG
Mm-hmm.
with Make Us Better, Kevin Austin was the one that made me not want to come back.
Oh.
I really thought he was a
Holy.
jerk.
Really?
And then, I love the guy.
Nah. I told you, man. I'm a good judge of character. I really am.
I do.
I've made my mistakes.
I'll be honest with you, man. I just, when it's all said and done, like I look back and I go, what was I thinking?
I know.
I should have gone back. And like, I really believe if I would have gone back, we'd really be hammered down right now.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
You and Kevin?
all of us, we'd be kicking ass, man. I'd have all kinds of stuff going on. Because you know me.
What are you talking about? Go back to
I'd
what?
have all collaborations, and I'd be working with PSVG, and they'd be working with us, and I'd
not
have
too
Make Us
late.
Better. Just what do you do? Make Us Better.
Oh, no,
2.0?
no, we're not doing that. No, okay. I didn't realize you were talking about Patreon.
I'm talking
We
about
can
if we.
I was going to say, you can still like
if we-
make stuff and whatever. We can
No,
collaborate.
you don't understand what I
Okay.
meant. I meant like
That's what
we
I'm
would've
saying.
been
I'm
doing,
trying to
like,
clarify.
We would have been doing a podcast that would have been Make Us Better podcast, which whatever. But you had to shut it down.
If we
so
ran
whatever.
Make Us Better, that's the new podcast.
Yeah, if we ran Make Us
Man.
Better, no,
Man, even you saying that just like brings a bit of a tear to my eye. We
I
closed
know,
down
dude. I was
2018. We closed down a lot of stuff. Make
closed
Us
down
Better.
marriage.
A marriage. Oh no, that's not what I meant. That's really not what
It
I was
happened.
I know.
It happened.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Closed out a marriage. Sold a house. Sold a DVC. Horrible.
We the
Horrible
Gamercast.
time.
Yeah, rest in
We the
peace.
Gamercast went bye bye, man. Holy crap.
2018.
Nintendo Guru Daily.
The year 2018.
Behind the scenes with Jules Watcham. All
Co-op
these shows
Kings.
disappear. Yeah, Co-op Kings. Rip Jams. Whatever. And
Xbox Drive died for like a week.
yeah, but it came back better.
Can I just
than
say, man,
ever.
Xbox Drive is
Bigger.
banging. Xbox Drive is, and so is this show. I gotta say, this show has been really good.
Yeah, I don't want to
It's almost gonna be like if we keep this up, it's almost gonna be better, maybe or as good as the Nintendo Shack.
I want to say something. We're better than Nintendo Shack. Don't even try that
Listen,
nonsense. Would you
Give Donnie a break.
you
Give Donnie a
stop
break.
that
Just
nonsense.
give Donnie a break.
No.
It's Super Bowl. He's very stressed and tired.
I don't care. We are clicking on all cylinders.
That's true.
We are
Clicking.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
Clicking
I
on
wanna
all
say this, though.
cylinders.
Shut your face. You've never heard that phrase before?
It's like firing on all cylinders. You click like we're clicking into. I don't know. It's like clicking on all cylinders.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. Shut up. We're firing on all cylinders.
Obviously.
I want to say this though.
All right.
Grouchy Surge.
Oh, hey.
I just want you to know that I was only kidding last week. I don't believe that you hate me. I was just that was a joke. But when I listened back, it kind of sounded like I really thought that, and that's not the case. I don't want you to think that I think that you hate me or anything like that. Like, I don't want that at all. So, yeah. So that's.
With that said, they still haven't invited us on that show, so.
That is true. It kind of was like a weird invite, like, oh, we'll work it out sometime, and then we didn't hear anything.
Exactly. So I get it. Yep. Action's louder than words. You know, the old saying.
Yeah, I could care. You know, it is what it is.
I could care less. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less, Bobby.
Whatevs.
This is fun, man. I enjoy just hanging out with you. We don't have to do topics.
You know, the other thing I got to do is Sunday I got Breaking Bells with Adam Leonard.
You son of a gun.
I got Adam Leonard. Yeah, man. Adam Leonard's coming on Breaking Bells.
What do you like? He DMs you, like he'll message you back.
He just did before he came on. He just
get out of here.
Yeah, he slid in my DMs. He's like, "Hey, we're still on for Sunday." I'm like anything with you, bad boy.
Oh,
you know.
Hey, remember Joseph?
Moran?
Yeah, remember him?
I was just talking to him too before.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a gun.
So here's the thing. I also have something in the works that's Fortnite related. I can't really say too much yet, but when the next season starts, you're going to want to check out nintendoguru.com and some other stuff that's going on my social media links.
What if I don't give a damn about Fortnite though?
Just do it to be nice.
I'm just asking, for other people, not for me.
I hired someone to do some work for me.
Oh.
So I'm really excited about that. Really excited about
nice,
that.
Man.
So it's gonna be pretty awesome. That's all I got right now.
Yeah.
So
I got
to call Jules Watcham this weekend. We spoke briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Text the other day, just catching up and how you doing.
I read his update. It's good that he's alive and focusing and grounding himself a little bit. It sounds like
he's very like off the radar right now.
Yeah,
like he's very just like I'm worried about work and that's it.
Yeah,
which I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, man, it's good to focus.
I was getting a little worried about him for a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the middle of that social media nonsense, people just attacking him for no reason at all, and I think he just needed to take a deep breath. Plus, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mutant Mud's collection is trending right now.
Well, it's like $2, man. How are you not? How are people not buying that thing?
I agree. I don't know how you're not buying it at all, to be honest with you. But I'm hyped for it. I'm glad. If he gets it up there and gets people's eyes on it, then that's fine.
Yep.
And maybe that's what he looked at and was like, hey, all these other idiots are doing it. Why don't I do it too?
Mm-hmm.
$2.99. If you're listening to this podcast and you don't own Mutant Mud's collection, man, just do yourself a favor. Just jump off your house.
Oh, geez. Oh, I thought you were going to say just buy it.
No. Well, no, go buy it. Buy it first, then jump off the house.
Do you know how hard it is to jump off someone's house? Like, do you know how much work that is? How many barriers you've created for yourself to jump off one's house?
You get a ladder. You climb up top.
Ladder, number one. Who has a ladder? Not many people. You can ask your neighbor.
Have ladders.
You got to go outside. You got to go talk to your neighbor, say hi.
Okay, open the window and dive out the window then. How about that?
Well, the main floor, what are you going to do? Like, twist your ankle?
Well, I'm not trying to kill people, Sean.
Well, I don't know what you're going for. Maybe you tell me the objective first before we...
Just trying to make people hurt themselves for being stupid, for not buying this game.
Step into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
I like a McDonald's drive-thru. Just so you don't, really kill yourself.
Exactly. Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Geek outs. Oh, my God. I'm playing my Switch.
I've been shouting out for 15 minutes.
I know. You're dropping names left, right, and center, man. Emptying your pockets of names.
It's okay.
I got. Can I start? Today's a special day. Today was Friday as we record this. Something happened today. Nintendo came out and they're like, sorry, not sorry. Metroid 4, we're starting over. We were working on it, and I think this is what I only read headlines, so this is what I gathered from Twitter. They were working on it, and somebody forgot to hit save, and then they got a power surge, and they lost everything. They were working on it. They had that blue screen, and they're typing in their code.
That's your shout out.
Not shouting out. No. So this is a big drawn out shout out to Joey Ferris. The number one, probably the biggest Metroid Prime 4 fan on the planet. And I just wanted to let you know, man, that I'm with you. I'm not attacking you. I don't like that people are attacking you, Mr. Joey Ferris. But Bobby had a point. Maybe this is why Metroid wasn't at the Video Game Awards. Maybe there was a reason.
There's absolutely a reason.
So I just wanted to give a little shout out to Joey Ferris and all the Joey Ferrises out there who have been looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. Today was not a good day, but I think overall people responded to it pretty well. No? You don't agree?
I got my opinions on it.
On which part?
On a lot of it. I just think that people are overreacting. I think it's okay to be disappointed.
Of course.
But to like just be going these tirades.
And aren't we glad we know who's making it now? Now we know it's retro? They got to make a new JPEG. That's the problem. That's what I'm most concerned with. They got to make a new logo.
Well, we're going to get into that. Well, let's you know what? Forget the shout out because I already just ripped off a bunch of stuff.
Okay, no, I got one more shout out then. I got another one.
Well, then hurry up because I want to get into this.
You just
you're leaving this conversation now.
All right.
You're totally diverting.
Shout out to everybody who liked Excite Truck. I mentioned it last week as a hidden gem. A lot of people liked it. They let me know.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
That was great.
All right, listen. Let's talk about Metroid.
You're a little angry. Okay, jump into it.
Well, because my thing is
Vent it, Bobby.
I feel like here's where we're at.
I'm at a Starbucks. I'm ordering a venti. Go, because you're gonna vent.
People are so pissed that this game got delayed that we're owed updates all the time. We're owed explanations all the time.
Didn't we just get an explanation?
But that's not enough. Apparently we should have been told along the way. And I feel like that you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You're not owed anything. Don't sit there and tell me that the Metroid fan base is owed anything. How about you guys start buying some games first? And then maybe Nintendo will owe you something. Yeah. Like legit. Like every time that Nintendo puts out a Metroid game, all I hear is excuses of why people didn't buy it. Mm-hmm. My feeling is as Metroid fans, you're not owed anything. They gave you an update today. They told you what was going on. They were honest. Because two things could have happened. They could have done what Nintendo did today, or that you could be a Star Wars fan right now and not be getting any Star Wars game because they canceled another game. The EA canceled
that's the
game.
thing. That's the key. I see a lot of people making that comparison, and I warn against kind of. I just want to make this comment, Bobby.
Go ahead.
Nintendo's is in a precarious spot right now because it is good to cancel this game or to start over if it's the goal is to make it better. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Patreon.com/makeitbetter. But they can't do this again. So we've seen this with Microsoft, with in the Xbox One era, Scalebound, all these games getting canceled or delayed forever with Crackdown 3. Mm-hmm. EA cancels game after game in Star Wars. We're going like, what is going on here? Nintendo, it's almost like you get like one shot. Yeah. Mom spaghetti. You only get one chance, one opportunity, and then so we kind of have to So you and I were joking a little bit before we started recording. Like, imagine if this is imagine like next Friday they go, guys.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening at all.
Animal Crossing.
I just feel like this game. I feel like they announced it way too early.
They just said that they were working on it.
That's all they said. They
didn't say anything more.
Everybody read into it. Everybody thought it was coming this year.
That's why you don't do that.
Yeah. And that's why Nintendo typically doesn't do that. But here it is.
It's
and
like
this
negotiating with terrorists.
Sean, this is what pisses me off, though.
Okay, but just take it easy.
This is where Nintendo does something for the Metroid fans. You want them to do something for you. They owe you something. They're making you a game, man. What more do they owe you? You owe them. Go buy a game. You didn't buy Metroid Federation Force. You didn't buy, because that's not a true Metroid game.
Arguably not a game. Yeah.
Whatever. No. You didn't buy Samus Returns because it was on the 3DS. It wasn't on the Switch. It's like, so what's going to be the excuse when Prime doesn't sell? Because I got news for you. It's not going to sell.
You don't think so?
No. I think it'll sell 1, maybe 2 million copies, 3 max, and that's it.
I don't know, man. You know what, though? I feel like it could have like a Red Dead Redemption kind of thing, or a Persona 5 kind of thing. Where
it's going to get panned by critics, and here's why. Because the entire retro studios, because everybody just forgets this, they all left and went to Armature. They've all left. They're working on Halo games.
They worked on Recore.
That too. But they all left years ago. The retro that's here today is not built for a
Do you
first
think it's
person
like a
shooter.
rare situation, like the rare that is now at
Yes.
Microsoft?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. I don't think that this game is going to be anything good. I really don't. And that people are going to get pissed and they're not going to be happy with it when you had a perfectly amazing game on the 3DS and you didn't play it. You didn't play it. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of these things of like, dude, I've been a Kid Icarus fan for so many years. One of my favorite games of all time. You don't see me flipping out that they owe me a game. You know what I mean? Like, this entitlement thing, like, stop. Like,
Yes.
just...
But you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I feel like you may have been right with the earlier iteration. Maybe that wasn't lining up so great. It wasn't going to be good, but they canceled it. They said, scrap it. We're starting over again because there's an expectation.
But that's
for
the thing.
greatness now.
That's the thing I look at is, I look at it and I go, hey, they could have canceled the game altogether, and they didn't cancel the game altogether.
Good point.
And to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, rather than getting
could've
so
closed the studio
upset,
down.
like
Maybe they did.
they could have, and maybe they did.
I don't
Maybe
even know
they
who
did.
it was.
But the thing is, like, these people are so mad about it, and it's like
too much. I didn't see too much of that.
man. Well, you know what? Then it's just one person. And it's the person that you said was getting attacked, and maybe it's because of the way he was talking that he was getting attacked. But the stuff that I was reading, I was just sitting there going like, "Oh my God, please, just stop, dude! You're getting attacked because you're attacking back." And it's like, it's okay to be upset. I don't think anybody's disputing that. It's the way you go about it. It's they owe us this, and they don't.
No, I didn't see any of that.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go back and reread some stuff, because I read where someone was like, hey man, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a Metroid game every single year. And he's like, yes, we do deserve a Metroid. Metroid fans deserve something. We're entitled to get something every single year now. Like, it's like, wow, dude. Like, come on, man. And I think that sometimes he does stuff, Joey. I love him. I really do. But I think that he does stuff sometimes just because he's pissed and he's lashing back and he doesn't really think it through. Like, you look at his tirades, it's like 1 minute he says this, 2 minutes later he says this, 2 minutes later he says this, 2 minutes, and he's just going on these blasts. And it's like, man, just put Twitter down and walk away, man. Just stop. It's not good.
That's good advice in general.
Yeah, it's not good, man. He's not doing himself any favors, man. He's a talented kid. He really is. And it's just like, man, you got to take a deep breath from what's
You know what, though?
going on.
It's a lot to take in. I'm reading this one thing somebody mentioned, or it was Alan Paxton. He said, it occurred to me that if Prime launches in 2023, which is the earliest I could see it happening, blah, blah, blah. That's 7 years from the launch of the Nintendo Switch. Is it? 6 years. And then he says 2023 is a stretch. And I'm like, maybe it's just like realizing, like, yeah, 4 years from now is 2023. And like, that number sounds crazy far away. Like, I mean, we might die tomorrow. Maybe we just never get a chance to play this, you know?
But that's what you're looking at, honestly. Well, the first mistake, I think, was everybody assumed that because they announced it in 2017, that it was coming in 2019. They never said that. They never gave us a date. They just said it's being worked on. And people assume this year for whatever crazy reason. And it's like, oh my God. And this is where, you know what?
Sony fans are for that for this year, too.
What's that?
Sony fans are in for a lot of that this year, too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are assuming The Last of Us 2 is this year. Death Stranding is this year, like making a lot of leaps.
Yeah, you can't.
We don't even know when Ghost of Tsushima is coming out.
I really don't.
This is Crackdown, mofos. What?
My thing is that you look at this and it's like, this is what I talk about all the time, where I go, these websites, these YouTubers, these leakers, they should have a scorecard, because this is where it all stems from.
It's true.
It's these people sitting there promising that we're going to get a Nintendo Direct 3 weeks ago.
Why didn't anybody see this one coming? That it was canceled or is going to be scrapped or whatever.
I know.
I can't remember. Somebody was saying online too that this had likely, it might have been Stealth actually, that this has probably been in the works for a little while. Like that Retro's probably been working on the new one for the last couple of months or so. And that's a possibility. But I don't know. You know what the world needs back? The world needs Zach Erickson back at the helm.
Oh my God.
Nintendo dads. Actually, I could probably go knock on his door. Go knock on Zach's
Make
door.
Nintendo dads great again.
I gotta get Zach out of his igloo.
Yeah.
And back there, because he would often remind us to hope for the best, but keep our expectations in check. He would go on for about 6 hours at a time because you know how long those Nintendo dads like to go on. They got endurance.
This is true. This is true.
Plus, when you get up to those ages, you just don't really ever finish. You know what I'm saying, Bobby?
I'm with you.
You don't even know if you ever really start.
Yeah, whatever. So
that is all.
Real quick, because for those that are watching this, they realize that like the formatting changed. We went from one to another overlay and all that stuff. My question to you, Sean, is how much were we into the last episode before it got cut off?
I don't know. There's no way to know.
You mean there's no way to know?
Just keep going.
Well, I want to know what time it is, so I'm all messed up now.
I'll figure it out. I don't know.
Okay.
Hard to say.
I'm just asking a question so I can be on track. I should have asked you before we started recording. Don't give me a hard time. I'm just trying to make sure it's good. Here we go. Did you have coffee today?
Not a lot.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't have coffee. You're real nasty, man. We've been down this road.
You know what it is. If I'm being honest with you, I'm just feeling a little. I'm feeling a little big for my clothes. I'm just feeling a little like I've put on a little bit.
Anytime you want to change bodies, buddy, come talk to me.
Oh, man, it's not been good. I've just been eating my feelings a little bit, you know.
Eating your feelings.
Mm-hmm. They're salty. And sweet. They taste like pizza. Have we talked about Hawaiian pizza? Do you do?
We're not. Please, we're not getting this conversation. Let's jump into our topic because I did want to talk about the Metroid stuff. We did that.
It definitely comes like kind of just rolls into it. Yeah. Just like biscuit.
Yeah. So
roll.
If we ran Nintendo, would we double down at E3s and consume the Sony booth area and do more at E3, or would we start to work our way out of E3 and kind of disappear with it all? I will be honest. I really felt like Nintendo was going to be the first to leave. Mm-hmm. It shocked me that Sony walked away.
No, man. And the thing is, well, you were there last year. So last year?
Yeah.
It surprises me to hear you say that a little bit because you would have seen firsthand the juxtaposition between like what people who are not at E3 experience versus like what people experience when you're there. And when you're there, what I understand is that it's a crazy exposition of Nintendo. Yeah. So they embrace E3 in a way that I don't think people really fully understand.
Yeah, their booth.
I think that leads into really like my inclination for this topic a little bit too. But I don't know if you wanted to explore like that. What would be the like for you?
So for me, okay, let me try to explain. So let me try to explain how this works out. There's two sides to E3.
Sure.
And now there's actually three because Xbox has left the center and gone to the Xbox Theater.
Yeah, Microsoft Theater,
Microsoft Theater. So now you have Nintendo and Sony on the one side, right? And Nintendo's on one side of the building and Sony's on the other side of the building. And then on the other side of the building, Nintendo's on one side of the room, Sony's on the other side of the room. And then the other side of the building is a lot of indies and third parties, smaller third parties and stuff. A lot of peripheral companies and, different things like that, like Retron's over there and all that stuff. So my thinking is this. First, we have to determine whether or not we double down and go bigger, like the booth area. Now, I don't know what they charge for the real estate. That's number one. It's got to be expensive. It can't be, I don't think it's anything cheap. So for me, I look at it and I go, like, do we really want to get into this thing where you're spending a lot of money for more booth space? But Nintendo also, if you remember years past, they used to do the tournaments, but they would do them in a separate arena. Now they actually do them on the floor. So they're right there. They built this little tiny Coliseum type setup where the stage is and all that. And they do the tournaments right there on the floor where they didn't do them in years past. So they're not renting out that space that they were usually renting out. So, and with the Switch selling the way it's selling, I think it's a little bit wise to take advantage of the time and open it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think what they need to look at and go, do we have a lot on our plate that we're putting out And if we do, if E3 is going to be a big year where they have multiple games coming out within that period, I think then yes. Because me being at E3 this year, the one thing that I realized was it's a nightmare to play games. It is so horrible to try to demo games. It is not fun to wait in these lines that are wrapped around the booth. I tried to play Pokemon Let's Go. I got completely shut out. I couldn't even get in to the area. I did play Smash, but that's because I had to get tickets before. I could only play it once, and that was it. So it's a little frustrating the way it's set up. So, again, I think we need to determine what's the pros and the cons of taking on more real estate. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so I have a couple pros. I'm not necessarily sure what translates exactly from the show floor to the rest of the world. But a little while ago, there was a report that came out about all the best and the most talked about topics on Twitter in 2018. We had the top 10 most mentioned games, Fortnite, of course, Overwatch, those types of things. Other games compared to most tweets. Oh, the games globally talked about. Of the top 10, we've got Fortnite, which is on Switch, Splatoon, obviously, Super Smash Brothers were in the top 10. Talked about it globally on Twitter last year. E3 alone netted 15 million tweets last year. It was the number one most talked about gaming event last year, followed by Tokyo Game Show, the Game Awards. Game Awards were third.
Wow.
15. So I just wanted to kind of like put that into context about like how important E3 is. It's very popular for people to say like it's going away and we're done with it. It's over. Like I don't know why it's cool. It's almost like hating Call of Duty, just like or Nickelback. What's up, dude? So I just want to remind people that this thing is a juggernaut. It's a juggernaut that we don't even really understand. Yeah. It's so big. It's hard to quantify in our brains. So it's so huge.
Now pause there for a minute. 1 second. Is it that huge because of what's happening on the showroom floor, or what we're seeing, the coverage we're getting?
I think it's both. I don't think you get any coverage if there's nothing to cover, if that makes sense. Like if there's no event like driving excitement, then there's nothing there. And so that's kind of like the baseline for me saying like let's not walk away from E3. That's number one. Okay. Number two, the number one concern from most of these companies, I think Sony for example, walks away because they don't want to be sharing the voice with all these other console makers, all these other people who have a lot of news to share. Well, guess what? Sony just made it a lot less noisy. Sony just made the number one gaming event on the planet a lot less crowded. So
they
I feel
it up for Microsoft and Nintendo.
It's either one or Ouya even, or who knows? Like that's the thing I think Sony might be forgetting here, and this is where that arrogance kind of comes in a little bit. What if Google comes into E3?
Well, they're already talking about their game console coming out.
What about this Madbox thing? Yeah. What if that comes in? Yeah. Like the idea that the gaming industry is locked, sealed forever with these three console makers, these three platforms, is totally narcissistic and naive and ignorant. So I think, yes, Nintendo knows the ropes. They know if there was ever a time to really settle your footing at E3, this is the year, man. Try and like move in on that space and make sure that like Sony can never come back.
That's true. That's true. Well, okay, so let me explain something to you. Sony could come back.
Nope. Nintendo's buying space forever.
But what I'm saying is there is a lot of space on the other side of the center. So they would force them over to that side ultimately, which again, that's not a bad thing, you know?
That is an interesting part of do you have first right of refusal? Like if you buy the space or if you rent the space, like is that your space the next year you get
I'm sure Nintendo basically just swings that big thing around and it's like we're gonna get first shot at this next year or we're not gonna come here at all.
And I think it's so important that they stay there and they stake their claim. Now, it depends on what they have to talk about. If it's Animal Crossing or Pokemon, that's probably enough.
Well, you know Pokemon's gonna be there. Guaranteed you.
Pokemon generally, well, I don't think they do typically show Pokemon.
Well, they were there this year.
Like on the floor, they
were
Pokemon
on
there?
the floor demos.
But did they do like in a big way? Like E3 is usually like, I mean, the last couple of years have been kind of similar. You had Mario, or you had Breath of the Wild kind of taking over. You had Mario Odyssey taking over, then you had Smash.
Had Smash.
So,
Smash was kind of lame this year. But the thing is this. Here's my thing, Sean. If you're going into E3 this year, the biggest thing that's happening for Nintendo that's ever happened for them is Pokemon is now going to be on a home console in terms of a mainline game.
that's a good point.
So if I'm Nintendo, man, I'm taking advantage of this and I'm really pushing it home. And I'm going to be like, hey, we're going to have a big Pokemon area. You know what I mean? Like, let it go. Let it. Here's a question for you. When does Detective Pikachu launch? Do you know?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I wonder if they do anything
question.
with that, too. You know what I mean? Like, at least have like an area where people can maybe watch a trailer or, get a pin or something. It's just kind of interesting to think that they would do something with that. But I don't know whether the movie comes out before or after E3.
I think this looks like it's saying May 2019 in Japan.
Okay.
It's the first thing that I don't want to be typing too much.
It's probably
That's
probably a couple weeks after that. Then it'll come here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear Ryan Reynolds speak Japanese.
That would be kind of cool. So my thing is I think that just from what I experienced on the demo floor, it makes a lot of sense. Now, Bethesda takes a big area too. So they could always expand. Like, I could see these companies...
but I could see them backing off too, man. 2019 might be an awkward year. That's kind of what we were starting. Like, what if this is a year where we see a lot of games get moved to 2020? Or, like, especially with the new consoles being rumored for next year. Like, this is kind of a weird transition year. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to expect.
It's only a weird transition year for everybody but Nintendo.
Well, that's 2/3 of...
I'm just saying. But here's the thing, Sean. This is what you're forgetting. It's a weird thing for everybody but Nintendo, but Xbox isn't on the floor. Only Sony was on the floor. Sony's removed themselves from the floor.
I think Xbox goes back too.
Goes back to
the main E3.
You think so?
I think so.
Why would they do that though?
Because it's less crowded. I think that's the number one thing making people question the investment into E3 is just how crowded it is. And if you own that space for again, number one gaming event on the planet every year.
It's not like Xbox is that far away.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is like with Xbox, when they look at it, they go, hey man, this is our event, our venue. So we'll have to pay.
Okay, so let's assume they don't, because this isn't, if we ran Xbox.
Yeah.
Let's say, so if we ran Nintendo, we take the entire space. Like,
so,
then
Sony's a big area. Sony takes up as much as Nintendo. Yeah. When you're in there, they're both the same size. I didn't feel it. I feel like there was a lot of open, empty space at Sony's this year. I'll be honest with you. I just felt like Sony was so low key. I felt the third parties would put on a bigger setup than Sony did. And people could try to correct me if I'm wrong, but I was not wowed or impressed at all by Sony. I thought Bethesda had a better booth. I thought Capcom had a better booth. I definitely thought Nintendo had a better booth. I didn't go into Xbox, so I couldn't speak on that. But like when you walked, IGN has a better setup. GameSpot had a better setup. You know, it's in terms of like there was a lot of stuff happening in the real estate that they had. But
I mean, maybe who knows, man? Maybe I'm clinging to the past a little bit.
So maybe if I'm Nintendo, because like I was saying at the start of this, the Pokemon area was just so jammed. So maybe I'm thinking, let's open it up a little bit.
Yep.
We're going to put on our tournaments. That's a given. Tournaments are going to be there. We're going to have Splatoon tournament. We're going to have a big Smash tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know whether ARMS comes back this year or not. It's possible. And then you have those big tournaments. You do those things. And then when it's done, I'd maybe even bring back a Nintendo World Championship again.
That's what I was just going to say.
You know what I mean? Like, do those two tournaments and then throw this
Mario Maker. Remember the Mario Maker thing?
Oh, my God. Dude, that thing was the most amazing.
That was awesome.
That was awesome that year.
That got us all. We were watching that going like, I need this game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's crazy.
And then they threw them levels in the game. So it made it cool to kind of play them. So for me, I think about it and I go, I would at least take up half the real estate that Sony's leaving behind. Because I think for Nintendo, it makes sense. And they
I
could
think
all.
there's an interesting like partnership. So we talked about Pokemon. Like I think there's partnership opportunities. Like we talked about this as well. Sony is really not only burning their fans, I think, by not being at E3, but they're burning their third-party relationships and they're burning their indie relationships.
Yeah.
So this isn't even just like Nintendo needs to own the space just for Nintendo games. It'd be like the game is better on Switch.
Yeah.
The game is portable on Switch. You want to play this game on Switch. Like start to occupy that space. The thing that we talked about back in the dirty Wii U days of we need third-party support.
Yeah.
Use E3 as that like, come, you're with us now. You're under the Nintendo pilot wings. And so let's go. So I think I don't know, man.
I was going to say that too.
Time,
like if I was Nintendo, also, I would take on a section and I would just fill it with indies.
I would almost hope that Google or somebody else comes in because I'm trying to, as we're talking about this, I'm thinking like what makes E3 E3, and it is the competition. That's what drives a lot of attention to it. Is that everybody's there at the same time.
You have to remember too that Nintendo and Google have a partnership with Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. So, but I would like to see Nintendo basically create an indie section where you spotlight a lot of the indies. And you're just like, hey, these are games that are actually going to be on, on the Nintendo Switch, either exclusively or launching first or whatever it's going to be. And, like, give them space. Give them room. Get Image and Form there. Get all these different companies there that are doing games strictly for you and get them on the floor to showcase. Because that's the one thing that I felt was very lacking at E3 was there wasn't many indies out there. And I was just like, man, I would have liked to see more of that. So why not make an alley or a section to be the Nindies? Because to me that makes sense. And then I would just open up the space a little bit more, so that way you have more kiosks, more demos going and stuff, and let people play, man. It would be awesome.
I'm trying to find, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to compare here. I'm trying to find like the most watched Nintendo Direct. So for context, because I feel like E3 has a certain weight to it that draws eyes to it that just nothing else can compare it to. Yeah. So immediately what comes to mind is when I think about like Xbox, inside Xbox, even if they do it in freaking Mexico City, it's their biggest thing ever. I still don't think it gets as many eyes on that as E3. And I would say the same thing for Nintendo, which isn't even on stage. Yeah. They're doing their videos are so comparable to their normal Direct. It's still a Nintendo Direct. It's just the E3 one. I'm looking at this one from 2018, 1.3 million views on a Direct. Yeah. So I don't know, like, is that what every Direct gets? I don't think so. I feel like E3 draws this extra pull to it that gets more eyes on the message that they want it to. It's like giving up Christmas, man. Yeah. You can't give up Christmas. It's important to have that reminder that you're supposed to be with friends and family and love the ones and blah 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 blah. Like it's a reminder. It's this central thing. It's more important than just getting the message out. You got to have that one thing that all the gamers come together instead of dividing us all over the place. I think it's important for people to participate, and that just makes me even more mad that PlayStation isn't there, because it just makes it seem like they've taken their ball and ran home.
It's because you look at the videos, right? Like you're just looking through a lot of this stuff. Is a lot of people just putting Nintendo Directs, like the Nintendo Direct in 2018. Is that June? That's 3 million views. That one got.
From which account?
From Nintendo.
What the heck was I looking at?
I don't know. This is from June or January, March, April, May.
Nintendo E3 2018.
This is from September 13th, 2018. They had 3 million views on that one.
But what happened in September? That's not E3.
No. I'm just saying, like that's with Nintendo Directs. Like, you know what I mean? That's like.
I have no idea what you're saying right now.
You just said. Because you're trying to draw the comparison, right? To say so you're saying that E3, you're saying that E3s do better than other things, and I'm
hypothesizing.
Saying, yeah, but I was just trying to put numbers there to go like, no, that's not necessarily true, because here's a Nintendo Direct that did 3 million views. So,
oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying
it's from September.
That's from September 2018.
What the heck was that about? What was even on that Direct? Smash?
Probably some Smash stuff. I think it all depends on.
I mean, maybe I don't want to be at E3 anymore. Who cares about E3?
It's just one of those things. I think it all depends on the game announcements. It all depends on the hype that you're building around it. But I feel like with E3, I mean, now they've opened it up to gamers. It's a little bit different. You know what I mean? And maybe they open it up further to gamers and allow more people to come in than they have in the past. And the media will love that, I'm sure. But I think there's something to be said about allowing crowds of people to come in and be a part of it, the people that are actually buying the games. So it's an interesting tale, you know what I mean? Like, I think the next couple of years are going to weigh it out. But I think ultimately, we're both in agreement that we do double down.
Yeah.
And we spend more money and make it bigger, make the booth bigger, make everything bigger for Nintendo.
I invite everybody to go over to Nintendo's YouTube channel and just sort by most popular. This is some incredibly interesting stuff, man. Kirby for Nintendo Switch official game trailer, 3.7 million views. That's crazy, man.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to us over here on YouTube and over on Google Play and iTunes and all that stuff. You can follow Sean Capri over on the Twitters at Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can follow me at Nintendo Gurus. Why do you always have to bring up Kirby? Is that like the out? Is that the like shut up, Bobby? It's time to move on. We're gonna talk about
Kirby's 20th anniversary Dream Collection.
That is all.
2.9 million views.
Peace out, Preston.
Bye.